Let's dive into the world of multimedia. It's way more than just some flashy ads we see online. It's basically become the core language that brands use to connect with us, and honestly, that companies use to connect with their own people. Today, we're going to break down how it all works, why it's so incredibly powerful, and take a look at how the best in the business are using it to win.
But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why some ads just stick in your head for years, but you forget others the second they're over? Well, the answer isn't just about clever slogans. The real secret is that the best marketing doesn't just talk to you, it talks to your brain on a much deeper level. And it all comes down to psychology. And that's exactly where we're going to start. Before we even touch on business strategy, we've got to understand the brain. Because trust me, once you understand why multimedia is so effective on a biological level, everything else just clicks right into place. So here's the thing. It all starts with this one simple truth. Our brains were never optimized for reading boring text or spreadsheets. Not at all. They are sensory machines, fine-tuned over thousands of years to process sights and sounds with unbelievable speed. In that sense, multimedia isn't some newfangled technology. It's actually the brain's native language. So, just how much faster are we talking? Get ready for this number. The human brain processes images 60,000 times faster than it processes plain old text. That's not a small difference. That's like an evolutionary superpower. It's the reason why a single picture can tell you an entire story in a split second. And it's not just about speed, it's about what actually sticks. When you pair a piece of information with a relevant image, people remember a staggering 90% of it later on. Compare that to what, like 10% from just reading text? This right here is the secret to making a message unforgettable. Okay, so let's add another layer, color. Just the strategic use of color can boost brand recognition by up to 80%. I mean, think about it. That specific red of Coca-Cola or the blue of Facebook. Those colors are not an accident. They are core brand assets that our brain instantly recognizes. And finally, we have to talk about the undisputed champion of engagement, video. Video content is shared 12 times more than text and images, combined. It just pulls together visuals, sound, and motion into this one package that our brains find almost impossible to ignore. So now that we've got that whole brain science foundation laid out, let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to shift from the why it works to the how it's being used every single day. And we're starting right inside the office. Multimedia has completely changed the game for internal communications. Pitch decks, they're not just static, boring slides anymore. They're dynamic, engaging presentations. Employee onboarding isn't some dusty manual. It's an interactive video series. And in this hybrid world we're all living in, video calls have become the absolute glue that holds entire teams together. And the impact here is just huge. This isn't just about making things look a little cooler. We're talking about cutting training time in half, while at the same time employees remember twice as much. For a business, that is a massive, massive win for both efficiency and just getting things done right. Okay, so that's the internal game. Now let's turn our focus outward to the super competitive, super visible world of marketing and advertising. This is a world where multimedia isn't just an option anymore. It's the entire playbook. This is what modern marketing actually looks like. It's a mission control room, buzzing with data, analytics, and a dozen social media feeds. It's a highly sophisticated operation where every single video, every image, every sound is crafted to do a very specific job. And you know what? The data does not lie. When you put them head to head, multimedia ads consistently get 2 to 3 times the engagement of static ones. That means more clicks, more shares, more sales. In this game, if you're standing still, you're already falling behind. Now, here's the really crucial part. You can't just make one video and throw it up everywhere. No way. Each social media platform speaks its own language. The best brands, they're fluent in all of them. They create slick reels for Instagram, they jump on the latest trends for TikTok, they build huge communities on YouTube, and they establish themselves as experts with professional video on LinkedIn. Okay, so we've covered the psychology and the strategy. Now for the fun part. Let's see how the masters of the craft put it all together. We're going to deconstruct how a few of the most iconic brands have used multimedia to tell stories that we just can't forget. Let's kick things off with a true masterclass. Coca-Cola's Share a Coke campaign. The absolute genius of this was that it wasn't just an ad campaign. It became a global cultural event. They blended a physical product with digital storytelling and created something way bigger than the sum of its parts.
So let's break down their formula. First, personalization. They put our names on the bottles, which instantly turned a mass product into a personal invitation. Then, they layered on these super emotional video stories with amazing, uplifting music. And then, the masterstroke. They encouraged all of us to share our Share a Coke moments online, which created this massive, authentic wave of marketing that they didn't even have to pay for.
Now, for a really fascinating contrast, let's look at two of the biggest brands on the entire planet, Nike and Apple. Both of them are absolute masters of multimedia, but they've taken two completely different roads to get to that same destination of unwavering brand loyalty. On one side, you've got Nike. Their whole strategy is emotional motivation. They sell the feeling of achievement. They use these epic athlete stories, high-energy soundtracks, and inspirational messages. Then, on the other side, you have Apple. They sell simplicity and elegance. Their marketing is clean, it's minimalist, and it's all focused on showing you how seamless and beautiful their products are. Two totally different feelings, two incredibly effective strategies. And really, nothing sums up Nike's entire approach better than this. 3 simple words that have become this global mantra for motivation. It's the ultimate payoff from decades of consistent, powerful, emotionally charged storytelling. So after looking at the psychology, the strategy, and the absolute masters of the craft, what's the big takeaway here? Well, it all comes down to your story and how you decide you're going to tell it. Let's just quickly recap the most crucial takeaways. First, remember that multimedia isn't just decoration. It's there to amplify your impact. Second, don't just sell features. Tell stories that create a real human connection. Third, video is still the undisputed king of engagement. And finally, and this might be the most important one of all, consistency is what builds a brand that lasts. Which leaves us with one final essential question, and this one is for you. Whether you're building a personal brand, working for a company, or just have a great idea, now that you know the playbook, how will you use the power of multimedia to tell your story?